Hello and welcome to the first ever JMD and JTT Dynasty Series update. That is a mouthful.
Exciting times, yeah. We might have to come up with some sort of acronym.
Yeah,
for that.
I can't say that every week.
We'll just call it the update.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, and can't read, I'm Pete. This is Ian. We are two-thirds of the JMD podcast. H is not with us tonight. We've just recorded our week one preview episode and thought it might be fun to just do 10 or 15 minutes preview for the Dynasty League. It feels a couple of months now since we drafted, because it was a couple of months since we drafted. So it's been quiet on the JMD/JTT front. I mean, it's not quiet on the JTT front because Matt Cullen is constantly peppering people with various things. So if you're not in the prediction league, call the prediction pool. If you're not in that already, get some more money sent over to him. That looks like a load of fun, and he's done a really good job of raising more money for that.
What's that? Has he set one up?
Yes, he has set one up.
I've not seen a single message about it.
Have you had the email and the Twitter update about it daily? And we are obviously jesting, Matt. You do a great job, and it's all good. School money going to a great cause.
Well done, great achievement.
Yes, as always. So what we thought we would do is, one, this is a good opportunity for me to thank everybody who's got involved again. So we really do appreciate you getting involved. This is our idea with Matt to kind of take what he does with the JTT Cup Best Ball and to another level. So those who are a little bit more involved in fantasy and want to get a little bit more involved in fantasy, we can set up a Dynasty League. So we obviously had the startup drafts. We thought it'd be fun to just quickly run through the divisions. Obviously, if you're not in this individual division, that's not of interest to you, but hopefully we'll get to your division eventually. So if it's all right with you, Ian, we'll start with the Manning division because that's mine.
Okay.
I think we just talked about this on the main show, our week one preview show. We both went with a similar tactic to go quite running back heavy. So, I mean, I've got Bijan, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, and Kyron Williams, and Gus Edwards, and various other running backs on my roster. Stroud and Goff are my quarterbacks. So I'm feeling pretty positive about it. I would like my wide receivers to be better, but you can't have everything. I'm coming up against team PM Big Man this week, who I come across in various leagues. So good luck to you this week, mate. What I would say is let's change these team names. We'll get on to the other divisions, but in this division alone, we've only got two teams who've bothered to change their team names. So let's change that up. And in terms of scoring, big shout out to Team Scuba Lee, who is projected to have the highest score of the week. So whether that comes to fruition, I think we all know that sleeper projections are bollocks and they won't come to anything. Big shout out to him, who is forecasted for a 23-point victory this week. So he's fully expected to get off to a flying start at 1-0.
Shall we?
No, it feels like an open goal, that, doesn't it? There is actually my game's forecast to be pretty close. There is some big. I mean, that's a 58% win probability for Team Scuba Lee. So good luck to you, like good luck to you, mate. Moving on, which division are you in?
I am in. I can't even remember. Marino. I'm in down Marino.
In Marino, the biggest scoring forecasted team for the week. Oh, it's actually pretty close. Is Team Dynasty Island.
Yeah,
as you would expect.
That's Rich, isn't it? Yeah, you would expect that from Rich.
I mean, as someone who spends 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on this sort of stuff, he should know what he's doing, shouldn't he? So he's got a 10-point win.
He clearly does.
Yeah, he's got a 10-point win forecasted. There's quite a few teams. So your team, welcome to the jungle, and big shout out to Brown Bear Rick. My God, that wasn't easy to say. Brown Bear Rick, Sherlock Mahomes, good team name. But again, there's only two teams who've changed the team name, so we need to sort that out. How are you feeling about going into this? A couple of months away from draft. Happy with your team?
Yeah, I am happy with my team. Like we discussed on the actual podcast, my running room is solid. Jameer Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Eckler, Edwards, DeAndre Swift, Cameron Williams. Happy with that. Very tight matchup against Ginger Mamba this week for me, though. 50-50 split, 21-point difference, 0.21 difference. Sorry, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a matchup to keep an eye on as it goes backward and forward.
Yeah. What I like about your matchup is the QBs are playing each other in the big game of the week, Texans, Colts. So
yes,
I always, when your fantasy team quarterbacks are going up against each other in real life, you can watch that game go back and forth. Always adds a little extra element to it.
Yeah, but there's more chance of my quarterback finishing the game.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's Richardson. He'll be done.
Fingers crossed, though, Richardson doesn't go out in the first couple of games as he did last year. The only other team, the boy, he's got some work to do. He's got no kicker and no defense. That's why he's forecasting for such a low score.
Yeah.
Make sure you sort them out. I have started seeing, because obviously I can see all of these leagues, I have started seeing people gradually picking up kickers and Ds. What I would suggest is that you make sure you've got all of your team going before Sunday, because otherwise you're going to end up on the wrong side of that result. In the other two divisions, Elway, which is we've got one person. That's Matt's division. So Matt Cullen, big shout out to Matt Cullen. He is expected to lose to the final boss this week, Seahawks Sixers, who has changed his name. Again, one of only three teams to change his name, 2 or 3 teams to change his name, or change his team name. He's expected to get so Matt's going in expected to get a loss. One of the biggest forecasted scores of the week, Team Suarez Power, 164.75.
Oh.
That I think might be the biggest across
the big score
entire series. So that is obviously, let's just have a quick look through his team, because that's obviously a powerhouse of a team to be forecasted that score. Burrow, CMC, Pacheco, Tyreek Hill, Adams, Collins, Kelsey, DJ Moore, Jordan Love, and then Brandon Aubrey and the Jets. That is a win now going for it dynasty team. He's got to go into the season as one of the favourites, surely.
Was everyone else in the league on auto drafts? How's he got all that?
Well, because he's gone for a few, like the likes of, let's say Adams, the likes of Adams and Kelsey. It's dynasty, so they're going to go a little bit later.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
But if even Tyreek Hill goes a little bit later than he would do, obviously a lot later than he would do in redraft. So he's going for the win now approach, which I have no problem with that.
I like his choice of kicker as well. In case people weren't aware, Brandon Aubrey used to play soccer.
In case you didn't watch a Cowboys game last year.
Never gets mentioned.
Never gets mentioned at all. And finally, in the Marino. In the Brady League, which is H's league, also Murph's league. Oh, and to be fair, Murph, I take back everything I've just said. Apologies to Murph. Murph has got the highest forecasted score across the entire series. Ooh. So 166.67. Do you want to take one guess at who he's playing this week?
Please be H.
It is H.
He's playing H. Ah, yes.
Yes. He's expected to destroy H by 16 points. So let's have a look at Murph's team, because Murph's team is the one to beat by the looks of it across the whole series. Again, CMC's in there. Jalen Hurts, CMC, Rashad White, homer pick there for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tyreek Hill, Chris Olave, Mike Evans, another homer pick for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Kelsey, Allen, Prescott, Butker, and the Steelers D. So as a heavy hitting, I mean, as a team goes, CMC, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and Jalen Hurts all potentially number one at their position by the end of the season. So that puts him in a strong position. good luck to H this week. You never know. These
Thoughts and prayers.
It's week one. Thoughts and prayers. It's week one. Anything could happen. We did have one big announcement. Anything you wanted to say about those divisions or anything before?
No, mate, no, that's all good. No.
All right, so we did have one announcement, which another reason for mentioning it. So we have the first prize on offer. So obviously everybody who's entered the league, might actually be worth me going over the prize structure again. So there's $100 prize to each individual division winner. So it's all on your division when you get to the playoffs. Top 4 teams make the playoffs at the end of week 14. Week 15 is semifinals. Week 16 is the final. The winner of each division will get $100, and that will obviously be paid out at the end of it. As of week 13, I think, week 12 or 13, I can't remember. We also run our sort of Champions League style Dynasty League across the whole thing, which we'll keep an update of. So the top scoring teams go into the Champions League style playoff, which we will have some sort of belt or trophy award for as the ultimate Dynasty winner at the end of it. We are going to try and source some prizes through the season to keep things interesting. And the first one we've got our first Dynasty Series Cup running as of week 2. Technically, it starts in week 1 because you've got to qualify for it, but the Cup kicks off in week 2. So the top 16 scorers from week 1 will go into the Cup for week 2, and then we will have a straight knockout, last 16, last 8, semi-finals, final across weeks 2 to 5. The winner in week 5, and we'll put the details of all of this in the sleeper chats, and I've got a little graphic with all the teams in that we can enter in. But the winner gets 2 tickets to see the Patriots play the Jags at Wembley in week 7, I think it is. So
what a prize!
But we've done our very best. Everybody who's paid into this has done a lot to support. Obviously, you're all going for the money and you're all going for the big prizes, but you're also contributing to a really good charity. So we are going to do our very best to source some decent prizes, and we've managed to kick things off with what feels like a nice one, a couple of tickets to that game at Wembley. So keep your eye out for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's like for those listening or those watching. Even I didn't know that was coming, so I'm blown away by that.
That's because you don't read that. Honestly, that's because you don't read your WhatsApps. I did send you the details earlier, but
I've not even got your number. Who is this?
Who are you? Why are we on this podcast together? So yeah, that's the prize. So keep an eye out for that. That gives you even more incentive to make sure, one, you're in the top 16 for this week, and then I will rank them 1 to 16, and obviously number 1 will play 16 in week 2, and so on and so forth until we get to a final in week 5. We'll keep you updated. We will try our very best. We've obviously got lives and day jobs, but we will try and do our very best to put a 10 to 15 minute review of the league together every week for you to watch if you wish, and keep you updated on any cup competitions and everything that's going on. Fire across any questions. I'm across all of the leagues. Ian, H, and Matt are also co-commissioners on the various leagues that they're in. So any questions you've got on trades or the league, how the league runs, or anything else, fire across. As I've already mentioned, if you're not in the JTT prediction pool, get involved in that. You will have seen notifications about it. You can't miss it. Matt does a really good job in making sure everyone's across that. And good luck, not only with this league, but with all of your leagues this season. I know there's quite a lot of crossover between Matt, myself, Ian, H in various different leagues. So we look forward to having some good fun across the league and across the season, and coming up against each other in various leagues, and hopefully everyone enjoys it along the way. Anything to add, Ian?
No, just enjoy week 1. It's finally here. Don't let it slide you by.
Yes. And obviously would be remiss of us to not push our main pod. If you've enjoyed listening to this chat, you might enjoy listening to us talk about week 1 and the various different bits that we do. We'd appreciate any likes and subscribes on social, and like I say, the extra listeners that we would, or viewers in terms of YouTube, that we might get off the back of this. So give us a listen, give us a view, follow us on social, and like Ian says, enjoy week 1. We'll speak to you all soon.